Okay, back again. All right. So I've changed the cover, obviously, to make it like a part 1 and a part 2. So let me just get back onto the share screen because I found my test results from the 8th of December 2020. So I haven't actually gone back to see him. Obviously, lots of lockdown and things like that. But I have actually gone in there for other reasons, things, but not to really do a blood test thing. So I'll do that in December again this year because I like to do at least once a year type of thing. So let me get back into... Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, so I've now entered my blood pressure. Now, Mel's actually got a blood pressure thing downstairs, so we just did that one, and it's 110/70. I think that's actually okay. That was on my left arm. My left arm being the fact that my heart's over on my left side, so it's usually sort of stronger, higher than the right arm if you were to do the blood pressure. Well, that's what I heard. My HbA1c, which is an average over 3 months, for some reason they do it, of the sugar level in my blood. So it's 5.0. That is technically not pre-diabetic stage. I think pre-diabetes might be 5.5 or something. I'm not quite sure, but 5 isn't. Fasting blood glucose is 4 on that one. My HDL, LDL, now that's my level of and triglycerides are the levels of cholesterol. Now it is almost like, I've read it quite a bit, that people who actually do keto and do low carb tend to actually have a higher one of these. I need to actually be really sure, because having a high one of those and a very low one, and I think it might actually be, if your HDL was really high, then you got to really watch the cholesterol level. But the fact that it's actually quite low and the LDL is high, it's okay, because there are good fats and bad fats. And with keto and low carb, I'm eating a lot of fat kind of stuff, which is the kind of thing that your body actually needs. But then it's like this, it's basically, I don't know whether it's misinformation, it's the wrong information, but definitely looking into it. But focusing on cholesterol is the wrong focus, because it should be the focus on sugar levels and the sugar and the carbohydrates from the carbohydrates when it breaks down. Fats aren't really the killer of, or the thing of heart disease. It's really it's an inflammation of what's actually happened when your sugar levels are really high and the insulin is basically being transported around the blood levels and things. So that, there's a really good description, but from what I can say, I think from what I can remember, is that fat's not transported around your blood, sugar is. So, and all the complications that come out from the sugar part is what actually leads to the big killers of today, to the cardiovascular problems, to the kidney problems, to the strokes, to Alzheimer's and things like that. So that's not cholesterol. It's not the cause of that. It's sugar. It's sugar and it's carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, when they get into your system, break down into sugar and things. That's why it's those two. And my triglyceride is 1.4. So I can actually now go through all of this. You saw me go through filling in all of that. And now I can actually submit it. So thank you. Submission has been received. Now, I'm going to say complete. No, it doesn't actually. Next. Will it go to the next one? Okay, yes, it does. So going up on there actually goes to the next one. So setting yourself up for success, the power of food prep, being organized and advanced. Yeah, meal planning, ideas on how you could actually do that, prep food in advance, fill your fridge, empty your pantry, which is actually a good way to look at it, because you'll find that in your pantry, it's mainly boxes and processed food, as opposed to fresh food that's in your fridge. That should be the one that should be full and things. Avoid the aisles and shop around the outside of the supermarket. Yeah. Obviously, you go down an aisle when you need certain things at the household, cleaning stuff and whatever. But with when it comes to food, the outside of the supermarket is usually your fruit and your veggies, and it's all like the deli, the dairy kind of stuff, and like the meats and like the dairy, the cheese, milk. Whereas inside, when you go in and out of the aisles, you can go in and out of the aisles, say, as for somebody to do, but that's where temptation is. That's where all the food, manufactured food in the boxes and the jars are and things. So when I go down the aisles, I tend to actually, like, if I'm actually baking and I'm getting almond flour or coconut flour, but that's something that I just have to actually limit if I can. I get all my herbs and things down there as well, and just incidentals like toilet paper and things like that. So that's why I sort of said, gives you my ideas of trying to avoid the aisles. Look to the following week well before it arrives. So a lot of that is preparation, because when you get busy, you find that you just get tired when it comes to, like, you're trying to get a meal prepared or you want to eat. And what happens usually when you get tired, you just reach for anything, or you just go pick out anything from the shop, or when you're buying petrol and then you buy it from the shop and you just see this thing, oh, I'll just have that, and it's and that's the habit that we're trying to actually sort of change, the healthy habit that we're trying to change, because that kind of stuff actually mucks us up the older that we get and things. So that's why they're saying, if you prepare beforehand, get your meals in advance, you sort of know, then it removes that stress of thinking, what do I need to actually do, for dinner and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, well, would love to show you, would love you to show us how prepared you are. So post a photo of your pantry or fridge in the activity feed. Okay. I'll remember that when I go downstairs, all right? So if I click, I'm just clicking on that because it looks like it's a link. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so let's just take notes. Okay, all right. Let's take notes along the way. Now, has it actually, yep, it's crossed out as soon as I said next. So how the plan works. Welcome to Diabetes. Has been developed by the Precure Faculty of Internationally Recognized Health Professionals. It uses a low-carb eating approach to prevent and reverse type 2 diabetes, because that's actually a really good way of eating this way. So who should do this program? Anyone who has a diagnosis of type 2 diabetes from their doctor, has pre-diabetes, is insulin resistant, insulin resistant. That's basically what I said, right? So how does it work? Eat and enjoy real food off your green list only. Okay, so I'm going to assume that they're going to give us that. I have a green list, but I'm assuming that they would actually have a green list as well. And things. Learn how to manage and reverse your type 2 diabetes by watching a 10-minute online lesson every day for 21 days. Connect with others, that's us, and you're very welcome to obviously connect with others that are actually, you can see here in the group, who are also coping with prediabetes or diabetes. Get the support and community you need to succeed. So this is good. I actually quite like this because in the Healthy Habits Challenge in August, there was up to almost 3 Zoom meets that you could choose to join. But you have to actually, I think they've got the free Zoom meet, which basically means it's a maximum of 45 minutes and it's a maximum of X number of people that can actually participate. So, and that's actually always a good way to start, right? Start with something free. So they would actually let you know ahead of time to register for which session that you're going to attend. So it pays to just log into your dashboard all the time, right? And as soon as they have a Zoom meet scheduled for like the following week, whatever, then just put yourself on it. If something happens that you can't actually make it, don't worry about it. I mean, you can let them know that you can't actually make it, but don't worry about it, because there might be a time that if you can actually make it, they're actually quite worthwhile, right? A lot of times you can have your camera on, but some people have their camera off. But you're listening to the actual pre-cure people who are just trying to sort of like do any Q&As with us and things. So that it's a really good thing to actually participate in, I'm saying. All right, we'll have our own one because we're supporting each other as we go through this, but I'm just saying that this is available too. So it's optional, like they said. Find out more how you book your sessions. I'm going to open that link and see how you can book it in. This is basically saying go back to complete the lessons. Okay, it's fine. So track your progress by answering 3 simple questions every day. First one, have I eaten only foods off my green list today? So this is going to be quite disciplined. 2, have I eaten a maximum of 3 meals today with no snacks? And 3, have I completed my daily 10-minute lessons today? So compete with other people doing the program by earning points and seeing who tops the table at the end of the 21 days. It's fine. I mean, hey, it's good discipline anyway. I think they just have this for fun. Yeah, keep it fun. So check your inbox, spam box, promotion boxes for any emails from us and make sure you add us to your contacts. All right, so I'm going to go to the next one. So important information if you're on medication. Okay, let's see what I can hear.
Pharmacist. Medication management is what I do. I'm really excited looking at people who want to adopt a low carbohydrate lifestyle to manage a lot of their current medical conditions. But please be aware, a lot of medicines that people take need to be changed and de-prescribed and stopped and doses adjusted when they adopt a low carbohydrate lifestyle. Now that includes anything for diabetes, especially insulin, sulfonylureas, glycoside. If you're taking any of those, or ask your doctor or pharmacist, but anything that's going to lower your blood sugar levels might need to be looked at. Metformin's normally okay. It's anything that runs the risk of you dropping low, having a hypo. So for blood pressure, the aim of a low carb lifestyle is to lower your blood pressure. So if you're already taking medications to lower your blood pressure, and this could include other diuretics, thiazide, furosemide, taking these medicines while you've gone low carb could lead to a very enthusiastic lowering blood pressure effect. We really don't want that to happen. We don't want you falling over. So, especially as I said, diabetes medicines, blood pressure medicines, these need to be discussed with your doctor or your normal prescriber before you go low carb. Okay, that's actually really, really important. We are putting a letter together for you with Precure so that you can go through and discuss this with your doctor. If you are not sure, we'd like you to advise your doctor that you're doing this program anyway, and then your doctor can go be in touch with you if they think there's anything that needs to be concerned about. The big ones, as I said, diabetes medication, blood pressure medication. But at the same time, there's some other medications. If you're on an anticonvulsant for epilepsy or a mood stabilizer, especially lithium, if you're on warfarin, those ones are not likely to need major dose changes, but they might need minor tweaks. We don't quite know what happens with those. It might mean that the medication might need lowering. In the case of some of them, going low carb might mean that you will go through the medicine faster. So dose adjustments need to be considered. All right, so, and then, after a while, when you've been on the low carb and everything's going really well, there might be some other medications later on down the track that you need to go back and talk to your doctor about, especially stuff for indigestion, omeprazole or pantoprazole, that sometimes they need to be adjusted. Or if you're on gout medicine, sometimes this can actually cause a flare of gout, and your doctor should, rare, but I'm going to say it's rare, but it might happen, and it's actually a sign of the healing process. It's the joints healing themselves, releasing the uric acid back into the bloodstream. Occasionally that will cause a flare of gout. So your doctor should be aware, right, that you're adopting this program, just so that we can, help make change, and it's all positive for healing. So go well with the program, but please let your healthcare team know that you're doing it before you start. All right, even if you just drop the letter off to your GP to say, no, this is what I'm doing, just so we know what's happening, so that if or when medications need to be changed, everybody knows what's happening. Thanks very much.
Okay, so that's actually really useful. And I hope you guys, if that's you, then please, by all means, discuss it and mention it to your team, your health team. Okay, so they've got here a sample of the letter to your GP. Let's have a look at that. Let me close that one first, and I'll close that. So you can read that. Dear doctor, your patient has signed up for the Precure Diabetes Micro Learning Challenge. Provide education and support for changing lifestyle. It's a reputable New Zealand Australian organisation. And these are all the people that are basically doing it. So that's actually pretty cool. So I tend to actually save a lot of their information. I think because it's like, well, there's two reasons. One, it's very useful information, and two, if I'm going to provide these kind of challenges to people as well, I just like to model the way that they actually set their information and their programs together and things. All right, so that's the letter. What else was in there? There was actually, I'll close that one because that wasn't useful. Adapting diabetes medication guide. Okay, so that's just some information. That's really interesting. That's probably interesting, I'd say. I'd probably let Mel know this one, because even though, say, for example, he doesn't actually do this challenge, but this is the way we eat. So he might just find it useful. He might know some of these things anyway, but I'll save that. So I just created a folder on my desktop so that I can put any information in there to keep it all organized. Okay. I look over the side because my monitor, which is bigger, is over here so I can see it. All right, so that's really good. So go next. So I'm predominantly just going through the whole introduction and welcome part. So know your why. What is your why? Why have you signed up for this, right? Because Bernie told me to. Hey, no. It's good. It's good for us to actually have that knowledge and things. Goal. What do you want to achieve at the end of the 21 days? Take action. Ready to take action. Click here to set your goal. I'm opening that up. So you guys obviously just do that because it's your own goals. Oh, yeah. That's where I put 21 days sugar-free. Oh, my gosh. How many times have I actually said that? I did this for September, and I basically said 30 days no sugar-free. And I'd say probably I was about 85, maybe 90% good on that. But I was actually eating. I did have some of my little what did I have? No, I didn't have the keto chocolate chip muffins. So that's probably actually really good. But I had probably some extra fruit, which I have to actually watch out for because of the glucose in the fruit. So I probably shouldn't have actually had the fruit, a lot of the fruit type of thing. So, but like I said, it was about 85. I'm probably going to say 90% good in September. This time around, I'm basically saying 21 days I'm going to be sugar-free. And you know how I said I was actually doing 2 desserts a day? I'm going to go 1 dessert a day. And what else I can do? I don't know. That's basically that hold. Sometimes you sort of think, oh, I'm okay, I'm not overweight, and generally I'm really good and I exercise a lot, so why can't I indulge in things? So I've got those things that you play in your head, and then you're thinking, hang on, are you actually really saying to yourself that you seriously cannot give up all that just for 21 days? That's addiction. So anyway, I put that down as my goal. Okay. All right, but you have your own goals and you set that, and this is the space for you guys. All right, so, and this would be like the reason for you to actually even do this, right? Because there'll be times when you think, why am I doing this? You know, so you need your reason why. Okay, another video.
And I'm going to be talking to you today about eating different sorts of protein, eating different sorts of meats, eating plant protein, and some of the myths and misconceptions and some of the practical applications about how to eat when you are trying to either reduce your risk of getting diabetes or you're trying to manage
you guys, obviously, because you've got access to this when you log in and get your details and you start working through it, so you can watch the videos. I'll watch it too, but I mean, we don't really need to sort of like have a video where we're watching these things unless you want to. So I guess the next part will be choose your eating guide, and there will be a mixture, and it will be like the different low. I'm pretty sure it's the difference between. If I go, I just feel like I need to click next, but if I go back, will it actually take me back? Oh, okay, good. So, it's already clicked it, right? Choose your eating guide. So you can actually go back, even though it's actually sort of said that you've completed it. Yeah, it is. There you go. Choose your eating guide, which is either low carb or ketogenic. So you can download it. So I'm going to download that. Yeah, this is actually very familiar because they had a low carb and keto in the August Healthy Habits Challenge. So I'll just put that in there. Oh no, there you go. Did I actually just look? I closed it. Diabetes pre-cure. Oh, okay. It's gone back in there. Continue. Choose your eating guide because I wanted to download the keto one. So that's the keto. And then the other one they've got, I have to do a back browse, I think. The other one I can see is their 10 favorite recipes, which could actually be exactly the same as the Healthy Habits Challenge as well. Yeah, looks like it. Anyway, these are always good, right? And because I'm so used to just the type of meals that we actually already cook, which is in this kind of style. I'm not really into making things like off recipe books. And also because I don't like to spend too much time in the kitchen. But that's not to say that I should actually just do some of these things anyway. We had salmon yesterday. We ate it raw though. Yeah. So they're very similar. Now let me do a back browser. And I think I saw one here. Oh, so their green list is basically just their eating guide. Eating guide you've chosen for 21 days. I think that's just to invite engagement into their little discussion group. So totally up to you guys. I think I did a couple of days where I was actually sort of commenting on, but I don't normally anything. It's taking a while. I'll go back to here. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video when I'll go quicker now. That's exactly the one that we actually had before. So that's their 10 favorite. And then their week 1 meal plan. Yeah. You guys might be familiar with that. I did similar variations of this on our group, Eat Healthy, Fight Diabetes group. And thanks. So you download that again, clicking on it, and they'll give you ideas. Week 1 meal plan. Now we're going into community connections on Zoom. So here's the times, and these are New Zealand times. So Tuesday 7:30, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. They recommend attending 2, but it's totally up to you. And then how to do Zoom. So I don't think what they do is actually they're just giving a heads up of the times, but they will. Oh, hang on. Oh no, that's just to download Zoom. If you haven't got Zoom, but they will actually send an email to you, basically saying register for these Zoom meets, right? Unless what they're doing here, because we're a test group, it's not something that's publicly available, so they don't have a lot of people going to it, and then they're limited. They might actually sort of just say, they'll just send the Zoom invite to you guys, right? So you just do whatever you normally do with your details, and then the Zoom link come the time, and you click on that link, and then you just join them in the Zoom meet. Okay, so that is, I'm going to go back to the last one before it actually starts on the next one, the FAQ, frequently asked questions. All right, that's fine. And then the next one is, right, okay. So now we've actually reached the end of it. So basically they're saying that they just opened up access to all those particular modules or, lessons or whatever leading up to when they start, because as soon as they actually start, because it's a 21-day, they'll drip feed it in. So they won't make it all 21 days available, because they want people to just work through it each day. So what will happen is that when you next come back on the dashboard, and I seem to have seen a date where it says 4th of October as to when they're actually starting this one. So that could actually be, is that tomorrow? Yeah, could be tomorrow. But just check your dashboard, check your email, and they'll just make it, whenever they actually start it, they'll make like that day available and things. But because, we're supporting each other, ask any questions or whatever in the messenger and things like that. And and we'll see whether we catch up again a little bit later from what Michelle sort of asks. Comes back to us as to whether she can actually sort of make that thing, or whether you can as well, Anne, for our little Zoom catch up later today. So Australia has moved into daylight saving time now as well. I know you guys moved earlier, so now we're at least still, again, 2 hours. You guys are 2 hours ahead of me. So I just have to note that down. All right. So I'm going to now, and then you just basically, well, I think you can just go to dashboard. And they don't have, some of these places just don't have a way that you can just log out, right? I feel like you almost have to go Precure. Where is... See, clicking on that one just takes you here. But where is the way, their little thing to actually just log out of the... If I just go view my courses... My account. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. My account. So my account, and then you've got here, log out. Okay, so that basically just sort of gives you where you are and those details, and log out. And then you're back to here. Okay. All right. Okay. And I'll catch you guys later.